Good morning, class. I'm an economics teacher, and yesterday we saw about the problems of cottage and small scale industries. We are dealing with the chapter the secondary sector, and we have come across the problems of small scale and cottage industries. Today we are here to begin a new topic, that is large scale industries. We'll see what a large scale industry is, what are its features, and how it helps in the growth of the economy. Why it is known to be the wheel of the economy on which the growth factor stands. It is very vital, it is very important for any economy. No matter whether we are talking about the developed economy or a developing economy, it is very important that if the economy wishes to progress on, the economy wishes to develop on, it must have a large scale industry, because it actually creates a huge number of employment opportunities. That is the biggest hand, that is the biggest helping hand for the government. So, large scale industries, page number 94. These are vital for the development of any country. A country's economic success is determined by the growth, development and functioning of the large scale industries. If any country wishes to progress on, if any country wishes to stand at a global level or make its mark at global level, it is very necessary for the country to have a large scale industry in the country itself. It is an indicator of country's growth, country's development. Now, basic characteristics of, what are the basic characteristics or features of large scale industry? Some of the features that it bears on are, first is huge quantities of raw materials. See, the raw material consumption, the raw material or the inputs that the large scale industry uses is not a small amount one, which was seen in the cottage industry, in the small scale industry. Here, the consumption is in huge amount of consumption. Now, huge amount consumption means huge amount of production. Huge amount of production means that huge amount of labors will be hired. Huge amount of labors means huge amount of employment opportunities, which actually renders for the development of the economy's growth. Secondly, a very large number of laborers. Often more than 1,000 are employed in the big factories. In big factories or big industries, the number of employees is very big, more than 1,000 even. So that is a big number, actually helps the government, or it becomes a helping hand for the government by rendering so much of employment opportunities for the growth of the country. The third point is skilled, trained and efficient labor is required. Managerial staff required for organization, administration and marketing is employed in large number. See, the point is skilled, trained and efficient labor. In the small scale and cottage industries, the one difficulty that we came across was that they lacked the efficient or the skilled laborers. They did not have the organizational traits, organizational behavior was lacking, or the managerial quality was lacking. Why? Because it was basically run by the household members only or the local people only. So they did not learn the professional traits of a business. But here, in case of large scale industries, people are trained, people are learned one, experienced one, who knows the art of business, and they are balancing the growth of the economy. The fourth point is capital investment is high, involving more than crores of rupees. See, large scale industries, wherever it is set up, it actually, whenever it wishes to cover a distant market, cover a big market, it has to invest a huge amount of money, and that huge amount of money may be more than crores of rupees. So that is why it is able to, or it is capable of giving so much employment opportunities and being a helping hand to so many people. So capital investment is very high. Work is highly mechanized in large scale industries. Heavy power operated machines in large numbers are involved in every operation of manufacturing to packaging. This is one of the sad part of it only. Basically, large scale industries is moreover dependent on mechanical force only. Means they are working with the capital intensive techniques. Labor intensive techniques are minimized, which which actually is not good side for our economy. Means the work from manufacturing to packaging, whatever is produced and whatever is packaged, all the stages of the from production to packaging is carried on by the machines, which is not a good sign for our economy, because our economy have surplus population wherein people are looking for the job, when people are looking for the employment. In that case, those works which can be done by the human factor is replaced by the machines is not a good sign. So, but in case of a large scale industry, this is basically seeing that huge amount of work is carried on by the machines only. All the machines, those which are capable of doing the work in the most efficient manner. Power consumption is therefore very high in large scale industries, since many of the works are done by the machines only. So whenever machines are operated or worked on, power consumption is very high. That is another drawback of this industry, that it uses or it consumes a lot of power consumption in our country. Next point is mass production. Mass production means huge production. When a huge amount of capital is invested, and the products are prepared by thousands of labor, then the product which is ready, or the output or the final product which is prepared, will be in the mass, in a big number, that can be circulated, that can be supplied throughout the country or even beyond the country. As the manufactured products are in large quantities and are often heavy and bulky, good transportation network is required for sending them to the markets. Now, this is another requirement, another aspect of the large scale industry, and whenever the bulky goods are ready, heavy goods are ready, they need to be supplied to that part wherever it is required. So, in order to fulfill that, it requires a good network of transportation, whether it is air transport, road transport, railway transport, or the air transport. All the means of communication should be adequate and should be efficient enough to supply the goods in whichever part of the country or beyond the country the needs are fulfilled. All the developed countries of the world like USA, UK and other West European countries owe their own economic success to large scale industry. Basically, the developed countries, we call them developed because they are very high, their living standard is very high, their per capita income is very high, their way of working is very high, very different even, and they are more innovative and they are more reliable on, they rely more on the capital intensive method of production. That is why all the developed countries are the examples of wherein the large scale industries are set up. Means all the basic works are done by the laborers and most of the works are done by the machines only. Now, I told you a division of industry on the basis of raw materials. This is the second point that we are going to cover today. Division of industry on the basis of raw materials. I told you three divisions are there: on the basis of size, on the basis of raw material, and on the basis of ownership. The first one we have covered. Second one I am going to start now on the basis of raw material. How is the industry categorized or divided on the basis of raw material which our industry uses on? The first one is agro-based industry. Agro-based industry. These processes agricultural raw materials to produce finished products. Example: cotton textiles from cotton, jute textiles from jute, sugar from sugarcane, edible cooking oil from oilseeds, food processing industries, etc. They are imported in countries like India, where agriculture is the mainstay of the population. Agro-based industries are those industries which actually uses the agricultural part. Like for example, sugar is obtained from sugarcane. Cotton is obtained from cotton textiles mills. So wherever a part of the product is obtained from the main manufactured part, it is called as agro-based or agriculture-based industry. Second one is forest-based. Forest-based industries use forest in products like timber, herbs, grasses, bamboos. They produce furniture, sports goods, rubber goods, etc. Paper made from wood pulp is most popular forest-based example. Forest-based products are basically which are used by the gift of nature or by the gift of forest. Whatever product is produced from that, that is known as forest-based industry. For example, you make the table and benches with the help of wood. That wood is prepared from the tree that is grown in the forest. So, forest industry is basically the supplier of raw material of wooden parts. Paper is made from the wood pulp. Wood pulp. Where is the wood grown? It is grown in the forest. So it is a part of forest industry. The third is pastoral-based industries. Use materials obtained from animals as raw materials. Dairy products, leather goods, woolen or silk textiles are some of these examples. Pastoral-based industries which actually uses the raw materials which is obtained from the animals. Like for example, milk. Milk is obtained from the cow or the buffalo. That is a dairy-based product. And the fourth is mineral-based industries. Mineral-based industries use rocks and minerals obtained from mines. They produce basic materials needed for a country's development. Example, iron and steel industry, aluminum industry, locomotives, and shipbuilding industry, automobiles, copper industry, chemical fertilizer industry, petrochemicals, etc. These are the industries which actually uses the minerals which are available in the nature and which actually becomes a raw material for the supply or for the fulfillment of other needs. And the last is marine-based industry. These industries are products from the sea and oceans as raw materials. Example, industries processing seafood or manufacturing fish or wine. The last one is marine-based industry. Whatever you get from the sea or the river, that is the marine-based industries. Means every part has been covered. Agro-based industry, pastoral industry, forest-based industry, then we have a marine-based industry, all the parts of the nature only. These are the division of the industry is on the basis of raw materials. The raw materials are obtained from different sources. All those different sources are mentioned in one head, that is division of industry on the basis of raw materials. The raw materials are obtained from either from agriculture source, either from forest source or agro-based source or pastoral-based source. So some of these sources are marine-based sources. Some of these sources are mentioned. You need to come across, you need to understand how are these raw materials obtained from and what are they used for. So I'll put a stop over here class. Tomorrow we'll see the division of industry on the basis of ownership. Thank you class.